Good day, everybody. Welcome back to Stream of Card Consciousness. Been away for a while, but it's good to be back. Today, we got a special show for the fans. They gave us a bunch of things they want us to talk about on our Facebook page. I am Mark Ford, as always, joined by my friend and my brother, Greg Smith. Good to be back. How you doing, Greg?
Oh, I'm great, Mark. I'm great. I'm bursting at the seams, ready to talk about cards and just everything going on. So yeah, it's the suggestions we got were great, and I'm interested to see what happens with all these. So
Uh,
I'm gonna let you take it away because it looks like you did a lot more prep than I did. So yeah, you go
well, the
ahead and
reason the reason we haven't been around is because of me, so I figured I better get some work done. And uh,
well, I appreciate that because you're gonna carry this show today. So let's see what
Woo,
let's see
look at
what you
me.
got.
You carry the load. So, anyways, on the our Facebook page, when we announced that we are going to come back and have a show, that my time wandering in the wilderness was over. Had some great responses. We're just going to run down the list as it was on Facebook. First, Dominic Miller want us to talk a little bit about overpriced sellers. And you got any thoughts and opinions on that, Greg?
I do. I think in these groups and on eBay and pretty much anywhere you can buy and sell memorabilia, cards, whatever it is. There's always a lot of options, and I think I've given this a lot of thought. Actually, I've got a lot of mental free time, and I think my issue with some folks is I when I have a sale, I look at what I own a card for, not necessarily what comps are. People tell me that they think I sell stuff too cheaply sometimes, and I could get more money, but that's not really what I'm about. And I think that the people who are about that solely uh, kind of put a stain on things sometimes. Especially if it's an auction, it's one thing and people will bid up something that they really want or whatever. But if you're doing claim sales and you're 2x, 3x comps, um, I was new in the groups about 3 years ago, and I got caught up in the ether and was buying stuff way over what I could get it for. If I was just patient. And I think a lot of the sellers who do that, especially in claim sales, auctions are their own thing. I mean, they're going to go for what they go for. Claim sales, you got a $20 card or a $5 card for 15 bucks. You're hoping somebody new that doesn't know any better is going to buy it. And I think that that's preying on people. That may be a strong opinion, but I think that that's preying on people. And I think that the people who do that regularly really should take a look in the mirror and wonder what their motivation is. Money's always the motivation, but should that be your sole motivation? Overpriced sellers, they can get pretty arrogant too, from what I've seen when you kind of when you make an offer and they're no negotiating under $10. Okay, well, your $10 card is really a $3 card, so you're telling me I can't make you an offer when I see this card 30 times in the groups or on eBay again for $3. So why are you not letting me make an offer on this? You're waiting for a sucker, in my opinion. So that's my thoughts on it.
Uh,
I,
right
yeah, you
my
go ahead. I
yeah,
just
my
it
thoughts.
makes me feel gross, really.
Well, my thoughts on that being that I took a whole lot of shit selling $1 Luke Skywalker cards is that it's just a mindset of people. And I took so much grief that, oh my God, you are destroying the hobby with your $1 Luke Skywalkers, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, that was
Anyway,
comical, man.
yeah, that was crazy. But I I mean, my thought process is you get what you can get. Yeah, everybody has a reason why something is priced something. I mean, so it's like Greg Morris, right? I mean, like, why is he getting like 2, 3, 4x? And we've been down that rabbit hole a bunch of times. But I saw a sale yesterday. I've been picking away, getting a few things here and there, and this is a new one now to me in the claim sales, $24.99 for a price, and it was a 1971 Ted Williams. And then there are a few other 1971s in there. I think a Brooks Robinson or something. $24.99. Well, first of all, they weren't really excellent sparkly mint. I could see a raw card, a 71, if it's right on point, good centering, sharp corners. Okay. But they were just average cards at best, maybe
Yeah.
$5, maybe $5. And I just scroll on by. I don't really give it the time of day. And the thing that is kind of a bummer is I look at some of these styles and these sellers. I'm like, wow, they got some really great cards, and I'd like to have a few of them. My mindset with the hobby is, if I have something, I want to get it in somebody else's hands and let them have the enjoyment. And I'm in a different spot. It's not all about the money. So I get it. I'm not criticizing people that need to grind out every penny, every dime. But I try to move it around, let somebody else get some enjoyment out of it. And I look at some of these sales. I'm like, wow, these are really great cards. And I'd love to have it, and not for $24.99. So
Right.
I think it's, to get to it, it's how people feel. What's their mindset? What's their motivation?
Yeah, and I have a little bit of inside info on that 24.99 thing. The guy was doing it to skirt the rule for taking it out of a sleeve and a loader for 20 if it's $25 and over. He was pricing it at 24.99. Now, granted, like you said, it was probably an $8 or $9 card. Um, I I sell a lot, Mark. You know that. I mean, I want to make as much money as I can doing it. However, my whole thing is return on investment. And I have a return on investment mark that I want to hit every time. And if I can do that and sell a card for $7 less than the next person selling it in a claim sale, I don't care. I move it, let's go. If I hit my mark, I'm good. And like you said, there's been some cards, an 82 O-Pee-Chee Ozzie Smith, for example. You don't really ever see that card. I sold it for much less than I could have because I wanted somebody else to enjoy it. It's very cool. So I'm the same way. It's kind of weird how I am with this. I'm a mix of how you feel about it, and I'm also a mix of it is a little bit about the money for me, more so than you. Um, but at the same time, I want to sell it for as cheaply as possible because it gets people excited and they enjoy doing it and it's fun. So I just wish people would quit trying to gouge so much, especially in claim sales. I mean, you can't say a word about auctions, but the claim sales, I mean, come on, guys. I saw some sales last night. Dude's asking $499 for a Mickey Mantle that is a $250 card. It's got wrinkles on it. I mean, just come on. That's my opinion. I've had a lot of in the last 6 weeks or 4 weeks, however it's long it's been since we've done this show, I've had a lot of um, talks with myself about how I feel about these types of sellers, and it's been bugging me. So if I'm coming off a little bit um, irritated or aggressive about it, it's just been building up a little bit with me. So but your points are well taken, and you make good sense. You make good sense. You don't want to fault anybody for getting what they can get, but at the same time, be fair and treat your buyers with some respect. So
Right.
that's all I have to say about it.
Amen. All
Yeah.
right. Well, that wraps up that topic for Dom. Al Bocalor wanted the top three best and the top three worst. We've been through that a bunch of times, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on that. But he also asked most realistic, most colorful. I have a few examples of what I think. We could debate the best and the worst, but as far as most colorful, and I'm a big fan of Art Deco. My collecting is a little different, time, place, setting, things like that. But 1950 Bowman, I try not to get too much glare, but if it is, there we go. Hold it at an
Yeah.
angle. That one guy that takes his pictures in the cells. There's Larry Doby. I mean, beautiful, brilliant color, really pops. From the world of non-sport, if you look at the 77 Star Wars with the blue, that's just a dynamite, tremendous, very colorful. And if you get it in a holder like HGA, they match up the colors. So that really pops 77. What else do I got here? I'm going to shock the world right here, right now. This will fall into the category of many people's worst sets of all time, 91 Fleer. But photography is spot on. Andre Dawson, Eddie Murray, Wade Boggs, Dwight Gooden. Look at that. That's freaking amazing. Dwight Gooden.
Yeah.
Look at this Carlton Fisk. I mean, look at that. Amazing. Larry Walker. I could just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about this one to me is great. Tom Glavine sliding into third base. So Tom Glavine. So yeah, 91 Fleer. I think had they had a different border, that would rank up as among the best because the photography is sensational. And I know this Greg Smith. You look really good. You look friggin' amazing on there, Greg. So you know you really make that 91 Fleer set shine.
My
And
younger days,
people
53
don't realize
steals when you're in the minors, man.
yeah, people don't realize what a great set that is. Colorful, obviously. I'm a big knob for 1990 tops. That's very colorful, maybe too much. What else do I got here? 75 tops. My favorite card in there. Herb Washington, our pinch runner. There's Herb, but you
It's
can't
a
go
great
wrong with
card.
that. That's very colorful. And my favorite colorful. My two favorite colorfuls again for the Art Deco. And you look at the time frame. 52 tops. There's Luke Easter. That really just 52 tops is really cool. Also getting super expensive for and then probably 53 Bowman color.
Yeah,
53 Bowman color. There's Luke Easter. 53 Bowman color. That's really colorful, really pops, really shines. Great photography. Again, we can debate what our favorite or the best or the worst. Again, 91 Fleer isn't going to make anybody's top 10 list, but the photography, if we're objective, it's really amazing.
I agree with you on almost all of those. 93 or 91 Fleer, I was after my time, and I hadn't really seen them until about 4 or 5 years ago. And you're right. I mean, the photography on those is amazing, and that just a microcosm of that whole set is the Glavine sliding into third base.
Yeah.
They try to think outside the box, kind of like Stadium Club does now, using some different photos and you know put a different border on that, and it's a classic. I think, like you said, like make it a green border or a black border. Even that would have been amazing with
Oh,
yellow
black,
letter.
yellow letters. It would have been incredible.
Yeah, yeah. So I agree on most of those. The only one I don't have a lot of experience, I guess, with the Bowman colors and things like that. And that's maybe a rabbit hole I'm gonna go down because the colors on those, and I don't have any over here, but 1967 tops to me. If you look at the team names and the colors in the team names, and I wish I had an example right now. I've just got them all in boxes. Um, that set really pops to me. It's kind of plain, and I know it's not really the lane that you like to be in with the vintage, but the team names and the classic uniforms and things like that really hit me. But all the rest of those, all the rest that you just showed, Mark, I think are spot on. And 75 tops. This I have to throw this in here. Just my best, my most. I've got an obsession with 71. Um, tops. I'm obsessed with them for some reason. And then my worst set of all time. We've talked about this. That's
Yeah.
my worst set. I don't. What were they doing? The red, the photography is not very good. Put a red border on the 92 Fleer, even it might work, but this just doesn't work. So
No.
that's my best and my worst. But yeah, other than that, great examples, Mark, and I appreciate you again doing the work and getting the examples to show everybody. So,
I
what's our
do have
next
a
stop?
couple. I do have a couple for bad, real
Okay,
quick. One more good.
okay,
I want bad just to be different and shake it up a little bit. 55 Bowman. I can't
yeah,
stand it. I hate 55 Bowman. I can't deal with it. Chris Frank sent me this, so it's in my forever PC, and I'm eternally grateful. And that's actually not a bad card of Junior Gilliam, but 55 Bowman is just I don't get it.
no
And then
bueno.
after that, while I was digging through my pile, and again of how we collect and we do things different, not everything's for everybody. I'm not a huge fan of 59 tops, but the 59 top Cincinnati Reds cards, all the pictures were taken at Plant Stadium in Tampa. The block and the Reds. There's Frank Robinson. You got me this card.
Yeah,
This is one of my favorite cards of all time. the 59 Topps Frank Robinson. It may be my favorite card of all time. And I don't really like the set. So again, to say what's best, what's worse, I think every set you could probably find something redeeming in there. I'm not a big fan of any of the 60 sets, but there are individual cards. So yeah, while this isn't my top of my best, but I love that card, and I'm not a really big fan of the set.
Right. And it's interesting you say that about 59 because I actually love it. I mean, I think the Dodgers, you've got pink cards with yellow letters, you've got, green cards with black letters. It's just an oddball, weird kind of, and it doesn't seem like there's any real rhyme or reason to it. Maybe there is, and I just don't know. But that's the cool thing about collecting and about subjectivity is, you like something I don't, I like something you don't, and at the end of the day, we're all doing the same thing. So, that Frank Robinson card's awesome. I thought it was one of the first cards I saw in the box. My father-in-law left me was a beat up 59 Frank Robinson, and it hit me. I was like, man, this is a great card. Look at that black. And Plant City, just it being in Plant City really kind of adds to it. It's just a, you know, being from where I'm from and where you live now, those photos with all the old spring training sites are very cool. So I think that's neat, and those are good choices, Mark, and I appreciate it. So that
All
Frank Robinson, I saw it, I had to get it. It wasn't very
right.
expensive either.
That's
So
my favorite. That
yeah, cool.
rectified a wrong that I never got my cards, and that was great. But anyways,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was trying to put a little spring in your step that day because you got kind of
that's my
kind of
favorite card.
jerked around a little bit.
Okay, so on to the next. So again, Thomas Samuel, mid '90s junk wax. You want to talk a little bit about that? And so I have a few examples from the mid '90s, and he is right. Now I'm going to venture off into football a little bit. Let me dig in my box here. I'll be real brief on this. Then I have a few baseball. But when you look at like Pacific, they're putting out some crazy stuff. The crown cards for football. I mean, this
Oh, those
is
are cool. I've got a few of those you sent me. Those are
cool as
awesome.
hell. I mean, they're just awesome, awesome cards. I love them. And then here's like some acetate cards from I forget who the heck this is. This is President's Reserve. I mean, these are crazy. These are clear like acetate.
Those are
Um,
cool.
just really wild cards. I picked out all the bills.
Any
But
idea what year those came out, Mark?
mid 90s, 95, I want to say.
Okay.
But those are really cool. 94, 95. They're really neat. And you see they're clear and you can see through them, but they're really neat. They got gold on it. So that's football, something rare for me. I held on to these just because they're cool. They're not the Bills, but I like it. So that's just
Yeah.
an example. I want to say like Pacific was really putting out some great things. I didn't want to dig too deep. So I have a mountain of cards here, and I've been away for a while, so I didn't want to go too deep into my baseball. But I know I just had these out because I gave these to Mrs. Ford because she's a big Marvel fan, and this goes along with the baseball cards too, like '94 Flair. But I have Captain America. I mean, look at that thing. That's
That is
crazy,
cool.
right? 1994. So you're talking almost 30 years ago. Look at that Captain America. Now, this is before the
Yeah.
Marvel movies were coming out and the Marvel craze. And look at Thor. I mean, that is just amazing. So, what if you're not into baseball, you like non-sports, look at the mid '90s for the Marvel cards and the Batmans and the Supermans and things. It's just amazing. And their baseball cards, the '94 Flair were tremendous as well. And then
I
also
was,
too,
I was just gonna say that, Mark. I'll wait till you're done. Go ahead.
all right, hold on to that thought. Cal Ripken, Star was putting on some great sets in the mid '90s. I have this Ripken. It's a mint 10. They're always mint 10 from this company, but there we go. And isn't that
Yeah,
beautiful? I mean, look at
that is
the
beautiful.
borders and the color, and it just really pops. So there's a whole set of Cal, and I think they did Griffey, and they did this one, they did that one. You can go back to the mid '80s. They put out the Jordan Star. The
Hmm.
basketball cards are iconic, but there's I sent you some. Yastrzemski. There was a Star run, so Star would make all the individual player runs, and they are just really cool. So again, underappreciated. This is probably worth a couple bucks, and so I really like that. And then even into the latter 90s, Fleer tradition. There's a Jimmy Rollins rookie card. I think Jimmy Rollins will make the Hall of Fame. He's one of my favorite modern era players. And, really neat, not crazy with gloss or chrome, but kind of a neat throwback card. So there's a lot of great stuff in the mid to late 90s.
Yeah, a couple of comments on that. I basically from 90 to 2019, I didn't really do much with collecting, save for a brief love affair with hoops in 93 and 94 with the Magic. But Flair, a couple thoughts on Flair. Those were beautiful, beautiful cards. The Flairs were, and they did baseball and they did basketball. That was really high end back then. The Flairs were. Fleer made those, and then you've sent me a lot of like mid to late 90s, early 2000 football. Those Crown football cards are really cool, and then the Fleer tradition. I've got a big stack of those that you sent me too. So I love those cards, and I really wish that I had been collecting the whole time. Because like you said, I mean, and I'm limited on my knowledge of this whole period, but the things that I've seen that you've sent me, and I appreciate it, I have kind of opened my eyes. They were really trying to make the cards look good, and I think they did a good job. It's just a shame they're not really that appreciated now, because after the strike, I think, the amount of cards being printed dropped precipitously, and a lot of these cards really aren't that common, from what I understand. So really good examples, and I thank you for getting me back into, for getting me a little bit into that era. Whether or not I'll ever fully take the dip, I'm not sure, but the ones that you do send me are very cool, so I appreciate it. So thank you.
My pleasure, Greg, of course.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of tonnage, right? Tonnage benefit. So I do have tonnage coming.
So I saw your. Yeah, I know. I was just about to say. You told me you were getting some more tonnage coming. I'm excited for you for that. So I really want to see. I want to see some hashtag tonnage hits, coming soon. So, all right, what else you got?
All right, so next on the list, Marty Klotz, Richard Kavorka, non-Hall of Famers, iconic rookie cards or rookie cards of non-Hall of Famers. They mentioned Mattingly, and I apologize, I forget who the other one that they wanted to talk about, but I'm gonna go outside the box a little bit. I love rookie cards of like non-superstars or Hall of Famers. It's not so much prospecting for value. It's more of a personal thing. Manny Trio. I love Manny, and that just comes from drinking Old Par in the parking lot of Eagle Creek Country Club. And Manny's a great guy. But then again, we've talked about him numerous times on the show. When you look at Manny's statistics, the case can be made that he's a Hall of Famer. Just a tremendous, tremendous player. And he's just amazing. So that's Manny Trio. That's a 75. Gary Templeton. I love Gary Templeton, and I love this card. I probably have 10 of this. I don't know why, but it's kind of like every time I see To Kill a Mockingbird in the used bookstore, I pick it up for $1 or $2. So I have so many copies of that book, but then I end up giving it away to the kids and stuff. But Gary Templeton rookie card that's great. I mean,
That is a great card. I remember being a little kid and getting that card and thought it was awesome. It's just the rookie cup and the colors and the stance. Just a great card.
All right, what else I got here? Daryl Strawberry. I love Daryl Strawberry. I just got the Fleer rookie card for Daryl Strawberry. I think he was just, again, tragic figure. I'm kind of drawn to the tragic figures, but I remember I saw Roger Clemens' last game for the Red Sox, and they're playing the Yankees. So we go up to Fenway, and Straw was taking BP, and he was launching them out of center field, out of Fenway, not out of Fenway, like out of. I was like, oh my God. Now this is Straw at the end, right? So imagine, 84, 85, 86 when Straw was in his prime. And here I am, and, he's at the end of the road. And he's just hitting bombs out of Fenway in batting practice. I was like, oh my God. So that was kind of where I really got into him. And then the last one, this isn't a rookie, it's a reprint, but it is a rookie. And I love this card. This card kind of shook me out of my malaise a little bit about what things that have been going on and my life. And this is what cardboard can do, and the connection with people and players. And I kind of stared at this card a lot the last month, and that's the Cobra Dave Parker
Yeah.
autograph. And I love it. That would be his rookie card, but it's a 2001. Cobra's got Parkinson's now. Signature's a little shaky, not right there. So I love the Cobra. I love Dave Parker. I love everything that he stood for. And so those are a few of my examples of non-Hall of Famer rookie cards.
Well, and the only one really I have, you can go with the obvious, the Mattingly, the Strawberry, the Pete Rose, really. I mean, if you want to dive down that wormhole, but this guy right here should be in the Hall of Fame. And I know I've already shown this card on the show already, but should be in the Hall of Fame, and this should be his rookie card. I know it's not, but it is. He should be in the Hall of Fame, you guys. Thurman Munson. He and Fisk were neck and neck for the entire 70s. Well, for 73 to 79. I don't know why he's not in yet in the Hall of Fame. He should be. That Dave Parker, I want to talk about the cards you just showed. That Dave Parker's amazing. It's amazing. I remember when you showed me that you were getting it, I was kind of jealous because I was like, man, that's a great Dave Parker. That's cool. Autos. And I've gotten a little bit into autos lately. And next show that we do, I'm going to be a little more prepared, you guys. I've had some things going on in my house. Been a the last 3 or 4 days since we announced we were doing the show. Just some things happening that aren't bad, but just are consuming a lot of time. I'll have some good stuff, but you've got me into autos. I've got some Carlton Fisk autos and Luis Tiant, Red Sox autos, things like that. So those cards you just showed, Mark, are amazing. And I agree with most of those. Manny Trio, good example. The 74 set has some good. He's got a Ken Griffey rookie. He was on the Big Red Machine. He gets completely lost. His son made him relevant again, but his rookie card's there, and that's a good card. Frank Tanana's got a rookie card in that set. There's a bunch of them. Bill Madlock, guys like that. The 74 quad rookie cards are somewhat underrated, in my opinion. So that Manny Trio is a good one. Yeah, go ahead. What you got
one
there?
more, that Fred Lynn, the triple pack.
Oh, that's so cool.
Fred Lynn. Yeah. So
that is so cool, man. I love that card.
Triple patch auto, a little rough on the corners, but I don't care. It's just a beautiful card. It's just amazing. I love that. And Fred Lynn was an amazing player.
That is very cool. I remember when you got that one, I was like, man, that's that's an awesome card.
That'll lead into another subject. We can
go ahead.
Keep this one out as reference when we get to that one. We're not quite there yet. Oh yeah, we are there. So okay, Andrew Cravata wanted to talk about cheap buyers, and I like to call it waffle guy. So, and I know from doing my styles, I just laugh because I don't know if I'm ever going to do any more styles, but when I do, y'all know I'm the 50-cent guy, the dollar Luke Skywalkers. I'm not haggling, it is what it is. But for me, in the Fred Lynn, again, this card's a great example. I had a little bit of one rounded corners, whatever. It's a beautiful card. I think it was $15. I don't remember. Bam. So I was late to the party. A guy offered like 13. I said claim, sold. I'm not going to waffle over $1 or $2. And again, I'm not looking to resell. This is an investment. I'm not going to pay for my kids' college. They're already through college and everything. God bless them, doing great. And, so it's not an investment for me. It's just something I wanted to have. And I'm like, man, that's a beautiful card. I love it. $15, fine. So I see that a lot in sales where the claims, most of the claims can be ridiculous. Like, somebody will have a card up for $50 and they'll offer 30. Well, that's not going to happen. But for me, where the ridiculous nature comes in is when somebody has a card for, say, $20 and somebody offers like 19. Really? Like, hello? I'm making the dad face. Dumbfounded.
Yeah.
You're gonna walk away from I'm going to walk away from that for $1. I mean, that's amazing. That's beautiful. That's a freaking amazing card. So I'm going to bypass that for $1. That's in my PC. It's on my shelf. I'm not, I don't get that mindset of, that type of, and I see it in your sales quite a bit. You got $4 or $5 cards and somebody offers like $3. Like, really? Come on, man. You're gonna
Yeah.
walk for $1. It just makes no
Yeah.
sense to me.
Well, I think part of that, being in the car business for as long as I was, I think part of that is the buyer needs a win mentality. Um, you know, you could have the coolest car in the world and it be priced absolutely perfect, and you're still going to get those people who that $5 car they're going to offer for $4.80 or five, four, whatever, um, because they want to win. I mean, it's just they're trying to get a win, and I'm guilty in my sales of letting them win too easily. I think sometimes,
You
you
cave.
know, yeah, I do. I do. I get caught up in the frenzy too when I'm selling. I mean, I'm everybody's trying to have a good time, and it's, I do understand that there are other options and the attention span and all that. So somebody makes an offer, and I'm again within my return on investment parameters. I'm usually gonna take it, and I know that I cost myself money, but that's my whole mindset. I want to make money, but I also want to have a good time. Now, am I cutting my own knees out from under me by accepting that offer too quick? Maybe sometimes, but you know, I I look at it both ways. I offer on stuff too sometimes. But I also, if it's something that I really want, I'm not going to offer. I'm just going to claim it, because if I offer, most people don't take offers very quickly, and somebody might just come in and get it, and then I'm gonna be like, damn, I should have just given him $15 for it. Um, I don't like to do that. So I don't offer a lot, but I do sometimes. So it's more on, I'll offer more on like lots of cards or groups of cards than just in a individual claim sale. So I kind of see it both ways, but yeah, it can get a little annoying when you got somebody who just does it every time. I've got a few buyers that offer on everything, and I'm just like, God, you guys, come on. And I'll circle back an hour later. If nobody's claimed it, I'll usually accept it if it's reasonable. But you can definitely see who the offer people are
Yeah.
after a while. So I've mixed emotions about it. I generally lean towards I don't love it, but waffle guy, um,
I
eh, it is what it
got
is.
a I got a behind the scenes here. So here's a peek behind the curtain of something that I do, and I love to do this because again, I like to have fun and I can be a little bit gnarly and all that stuff. So if people that I know and love, Wayne Chan, Mr. Former Card of the Week. So if he gets a lot of ridiculous people offer, like they really lowball that guy sometimes. But anyways, I'll see an offer that I think is just ridiculous, and I'll buy the card. I love doing that. My joy and my fun is like, say on a Friday night, be cruising through a cell and see a guy offer a bunch of ridiculous offers. I'll just go claim every card just
Yeah.
to be the dick, you know.
Oh yeah. I've seen you do it, man. I've
And
seen you do it.
I'll text Greg. I'm like, hey, Greg, watch this. And then I'll
Yeah.
end up just selling the card for like, I'll lose $1, sell it for what I paid for it. Since I really want the card, it's just like when I see offer guy and waffle guy getting loose in the sell, and me as, a seller, I love raining on their parade when they're making stupid offers. I'll just be like, claim, 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 claim. And then I'll just end up
Yep.
I don't care. If I sell it, if it lose $1 or two or get back what I paid for it, it doesn't really matter. But I love doing that. That's like the highlight of my. Sometimes, I mean, that's how simple I am. What's my big enjoyment is, stepping on people to make stupid claims, or offer. So I get a big joy out of, just going claim, 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 and taking the cards for what the person wants for it, and then I'll just end up, moving them
Yeah.
on. I don't care. It's
That's
just that's
awesome.
my fun. And again, that's my fun. So, beware, waffle guy, because if I'm going to sell and you're making ridiculous offers, I'm just going to buy the cards and, I'm just going to sell them for whatever, just to be a jerk.
I've seen you do that quite a bit. It's funny. It's funny and it's awesome. So I miss. I'm hoping that you get everything squared away and you can kind of guide yourself maybe back in that, because that was fun. That was fun. And you and I and James getting on a Friday night and raiding a sale. Those are it's like the good old days. But I'm hoping that you're inching back that way, man.
Yeah, well,
So
here I am on camera, so you know
that's
we're
true.
coming
That's
out of the
true.
hole.
What
And
else?
yeah, Rob Harris, Topps Airbrush. So
Who's
we all
this?
know Rob Harris wanted to know about the Topps
Okay.
Airbrush cards. So I don't have a lot of examples of that. I mean, I do. Again, I'm not going to dig through the mountain of cards, but there's some great examples like 73 Tops with the backgrounds. He asked about the backgrounds as well. Again, the Luis Alvarado and the playing softball somewhere, you know, I mean, that's great with the muscle cars in the background. I love the
Beach
1973.
volleyball court.
Yeah, the 1973 George Scott. There's like a fight going on in the background. There's like some old guy just getting beat up, and it's crazy. And then for me, the fist, the Carl the Fist isn't from '73, and now that I pulled this out, I mean it is crinkly, wrinkly. I'm not real happy with this card. I thought it was a lot better, but this is my time travel card. If you look, people, if you haven't heard this story before, if you look just behind Carlton's back, you're going to see a dude in a white shirt and a guy with a hat. And then if you go to the edge of the card, you're going to see them people again. So right here and right here. So you can see that
Oh
right
yeah.
there. See the you can see the same people. So so what they did is they took and I guess because of the I did a little research on it because of the angle of the card that it was landscape. They didn't have enough room, so all they did is they just copied that corner edge and slapped it on there again. So there's some time travelers in there. It's really pretty cool. So right at the very edge here and here, those are the same people.
Yeah, you
So
can totally see that. That's
yeah.
crazy.
So I love this card. I think that's really great. I don't think a lot of people realize that. So now I do need a better copy of that because that's like, holy cow, look at that thing. Oh my God. Very
Oh
disappointing.
wow. That
Wow.
wasn't one I sent you, was it?
Oh God, no. No,
Okay.
I'm not gonna out where I got this from, but um yeah. Wow. I was like I just because I had got this when I went in the rabbit hole and I just pulled it out and wow, I'm not really happy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's that. So I need a better one of that. I'll give that to somebody. So that is my examples of the airbrush.
Well, I didn't pull a lot, but you look at the 77 set, you look at the 78 set. They did a lot of creative stuff with the Mariners and Blue Jays because I know a lot of those guys didn't have pictures in time for the sets. Um, 73 is notorious for having that Luis Alvarado card is great because you got him playing in front
I
of a
love
chain
this
link
guy.
fence. You know, the chain link fence just sets it off because you got all the GTOs and the Fords,
Carter. Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
then there's a beach volleyball court, behind it. So it's like, where were they playing? It's like some backfield in Sarasota or something. It's weird,
Yeah.
but
We got to make that our mission to find out where it was taken, and we're going to go out and get some film from that. It's probably in a condominium or something now, but we got to try to find out where that thing was taken and
yeah,
reenact it. You know, let's
yeah,
reenact it.
that would be
That's
great.
all right. I'm gonna start working on that today. We're gonna try to find out where that thing was taken, and because I do love to do that, walk back through time and put myself in places where there were pictures or yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna try to figure that one out. So let's see if we can
But
reenact that.
yeah, there's numerous 1987 tops Mike Laga with the pink jersey.
Oh, that's
Um,
terrible. Yeah.
yeah, that's really a bad airbrush. There's so many of them that you could really just make a PC out of bad airbrush, really, if you wanted to. And people do that. So excellent examples. OPG in the 77 and 78s did some airbrushing. It's pretty gnarly. You can tell there's one card, and I didn't pull it, and I've got it somewhere, I think. But there's just like the Mariners logo with the whatever the King Neptune, the pitchfork or whatever it
Yeah.
is, and it's like just crooked. And whoever airbrushed it just went, so I'm not real sure what they were doing, but next show I'll have that. And I'll again, everybody, I apologize. I'm not super prepared for this, but
Well,
it's nice to get back on and just kind of riff on stuff. So this has been good
absolutely.
so far. Great. I love it.
All right. As we go down. So the final one, Jason Hill. He wanted to know why Mickey Mantle cards are so high and the infatuation with Mickey Mantle. So there's a few reasons for that. My opinion, one, they won a lot. The Yankees won a lot, and they're very visible. But then you could say, why is Yogi Berra not as expensive and Whitey Ford and this one or that one? So for me, uh, you know, Mickey Mantle was white, and Hank Aaron and Willie Mays and Ernie Banks, they're brown. Okay, so let's just be honest. That is part of it. Come at me if you want, but race does play an issue in it, and that's why I don't collect cards really from, before Jackie, because I can't stand it. I hate seeing all the white faces, because it's not representative of America. So I do think race plays something into it. There, I said it, and but also performance. And I never really understood the infatuation with Mickey Mantle until I did take a little bit of a deeper dive. For me, he's the fallible hero. He's every man, and I think what could have been, he's like that tragic hero because of his issues. He hurt his knee, had the alcoholism, and you look at his numbers are amazing. The World Championships. Had he not played the last few weeks of his final season, he would have had over 300 career batting average. Blah 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 blah. So I think that every man can kind of relate to Mickey Mantle, and that has nothing to do with race. That's just, whether you're black, white, yellow, green, purple, you can relate to the fallibility and what could have been, because I think that all of us in our lives have moments and things that we think about what could have been. If I'd have gone right, if I'd have gone left, if I hadn't done this, if I hadn't done that, would my life have been different? Would my career be different? So I think that people can relate, to the burden of talent, so to speak, with Mickey Mantle. It's more of a what could have been than what was. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Greg.
It does. It does. It's the butterfly effect, kind of. It just, and that's a whole. How I Met My Wife is a complete example of that. I won't really get into that, but it's pure chance. It's something that if I'd have decided not to go to a mall on a Saturday, literally, I would have never met my wife. So Mickey Mantle, though, I think um, I've done some reading. I read his biography, or his biography. Jane Levy, I think, wrote it
Yeah, it's an
when I was a
book.
boy. Yeah, it's a good book, and I
It's
think just go ahead.
unfiltered for sure. That's kind of
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
very
It's a good
upsetting.
book. It's a
Yeah,
very
it's
good book.
upsetting.
Yeah, I think part of the thing with Mickey, because if you look at the numbers, really, I mean, would his numbers have been better if he hadn't have twisted his knee and DiMaggio hadn't have ran him into a drain pipe? You know, calling him off on a fly ball in 1950 or one or whatever, probably. But would they have been better if he didn't come in hungover 3 out of 4 nights or 4 day games? Probably. Um, but if you look at sheer numbers, I mean, Willie Mays beats him by a mile. Really, so does Hank. Really, I mean, the numbers. He won Mickey won a triple crown. I think the thing with Mickey is he was a mythical figure back in the 50s to a lot of young kids. You didn't have games on all the time. You had to wait for box scores. You had to, if you were playing out, well, you weren't really playing out west, but if the game ended late, you had to wait till the day after for the box score. Um, Kids worshipped him, and especially around New York, which was the epicenter of sports at that time. I just think he was a mythical figure, a little bit maybe more so than Mays and Aaron were. Sure, do I think race plays a part in it? Absolutely, because that leads back to my point of the numbers favor Mays and Aaron. Um, so I think there's an Americana thing with Mickey, maybe more so than Willie and Hank. Um, you think 50s baseball, you think Mays and Aaron, or you think Mantle and Mays, really. And Aaron's kind of a notch below that, which he really shouldn't be, but he is. Um, so that's my thought on it. I think there's just a romanticism maybe with Mickey that isn't there with Willie and Hank for some reason. And I do think race has a little bit to do with it, but I think there's a number of reasons. So, that's my thoughts on that. I when I see cards now from the pre-Jackie days, you've got me I've thought a lot about that. and it kind of makes me feel a little bit icky too. Now, I didn't really used to think about that. With the pre-war cards, I've got maybe 5 or 6 pre-1945 cards, or 47. I don't look at them the same way, and I've got you to thank for that, because there was a time where, and we've talked about this on the show too before. There was a time when sports, and baseball in particular, wasn't a real kind place to be. So, kudos to you for sticking to your guns with that. I look at them different now too. I don't really seek them out. So,
Yeah, I just
for
don't
what it's
want
worth.
it.
Yeah.
And to people that do, that's fine. I'm not, but just for me personally, and in the world I live into,
Right.
I see things through a different lens
Yeah.
than probably your average cardboard collector. I, I'm in that world. I see things differently, and
Yeah.
but that said, I have a lot of Jackie Robinson in my room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
All right. What else you got, Mark?
that was it for
This has been
for
great.
the
We
questions. I just had a couple cards I wanted to show really quick. I think they're kind of neat. And we had this on the page, but for those people that watch the show that aren't on the page, this is crazy. 1952 look and see Charles Dickens. Sleepy Chuck, right? Sleepy Chuck D. I mean, this is crazy. Uh, he's like passed out. I don't know if he's on opium or if it's in his
yeah.
but that's Charles Dickens. I picked that up for like $10, and I'll put that in my room because we do study Dickens, and again, PSA undersized cards. It's an atrocity. I would much rather have this in an SGC, but the price is right, and this will go in my room, and the kids can pass it around and look at Sleepy Chuck D and go, "That's a great American writer." Oh wow, look at that. And
Yeah.
and then the Bowman, 52 Bowman Abraham Lincoln. That's pretty cool.
That
So
is cool. I've never seen
yeah,
that
pick
before. That's
that up.
neat.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln. It's a Bowman, U.S. presidents. He's from like 1952. So I like it. That's really cool card, Abraham Lincoln.
Did
So
you get that in a
I got a
sale?
few. Yeah, I got grabbed that in the sale. I got Woodrow Wilson because I don't know why, but they're so big into like the Versailles Treaty and his like 14 points, and it's just like Woodrow Wilson, Woodrow Wilson. Oh my God, Woodrow Wilson. So we
Yeah.
studied Woodrow Wilson ad nauseum, and then of course we just brushed over Martin Luther King and that whole era. But yeah, we'll spend all kinds of time on Woodrow Wilson. So I try to get cards, so the kids can relate to what they're looking at and what they're seeing. So they'll have a question about, they'll be, Abraham Lincoln. I'll be like, here, check this out. There's Abraham Lincoln. And then, it's like they're looking at the back and they're reading it. And, it's a little more tangible because
Mhm.
I find that, things that we teach as a teacher, the curriculum is really nonsensical these days. It's really not relevant to any teenager, black, yellow, brown, purple, doesn't matter where you're from. The curriculum is really not relevant. So if you can put something in their hands, be it a book or a card, make it a little more tangible for them. I find
Yeah.
that that's a little helpful, and they can relate to it a little more than just something on a computer screen.
Right.
So I have a bunch of different historical figures cards, but I love that Dickens. That's just like ridiculous. He's just like
Yeah.
passed out the wheel.
That's very cool. Very cool.
He's had enough, man. Sleepy Chuck, he had enough.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
Mark,
what we got. Yeah.
yeah, this has been wonderful, man. This has been wonderful. And I'm hoping we can get back to maybe doing this a little bit more, regularly or
Definitely.
frequently
Yeah,
or
we'll be back. We'll do it every week. I'm good. Yeah, my apologies. Things happen.
yeah.
Where cardboard it just didn't mean anything to me for a while. And honestly, I'll probably never look at it the same. Just I can't really talk about things that have gone on in the last month and a half. Um, holy cow. And
Yeah.
it's just a part, it's a piece, it's something. So I mean, I can still talk and rap and shoot the shit and have a good time, and we can talk about things. My collecting is a little different now. I probably won't be doing sales for a while, but yeah, I like to talk to people, and the outpour on the show page is really great, and let it
Yeah.
be fan driven a little bit. And I look forward to, next week we could do autos because I love that. That's my jam right there. So
Okay.
we can talk about
I've
auto things forever.
I've actually got a few that I could
Yeah.
talk about.
Well,
Yeah.
I figure
I'm
next
kind
week
of
we can talk about autos, and
Okay.
that whole process. And, that'll be fun. That'll be a good time. But yeah, I want to thank
Absolutely.
everybody for their support. It's been amazing. James Crawford, Richard Kavorka, Chris Frank, Marty Klotz, yourself, Dominic Miller, everybody. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? People checking up on me. It's been really great, and that's what it's all about. People, we can pick on Waffle Guy, and we can debate Mickey Mantle, but anything that we do in life is the people we meet and the relationships that we make that make it worthwhile. And being streaming card consciousness, the family that we've made makes it very worthwhile. And I'm very appreciative for people's support. And there's been, some people I don't really know that have reached out. And Breck Allman is another one. And if I forgot anybody, I'm sorry, because really been a lot of people that reached out to me lately and just checking on me. And again, people, mental health is serious. Make sure you're okay. If you need to put your hand up and say, hey, I need some help, or you need to hit the timeout sign for a little while, it's okay. There's
Yeah.
no shame in that. I mean, I like to think I'm the toughest guy on the planet, and maybe I am, maybe I'm not, but also we have a responsibility to our family, to people that we work with, to our friends, to take care of ourselves so we can take care of them. So don't
Absolutely.
ever be afraid to say, hey, time out. Hey, I got to talk about some stuff, and get your shit together, because the world needs you, whether you think you do or not, or do you think they do. Everybody has value, everybody has worth, everybody has a place, and the world needs you. The world needs Greg. The world needs me. The world needs Richard. The world needs Marty. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody matters. Everybody matters. And even
Very,
if Mickey Mantle's overrated, he mattered too. So that's my
very
speech.
well said.
All
Very
right,
well
brother.
said, Mark. Well, I say we go ahead and wrap this up. We've been
All right.
talking for a while.
Yeah, good.
Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. Just everybody love everybody. Tell your family you love them. Say thanks for what you say thanks for. I've got a list. So thank you again, everybody. Mark, I can't tell you how happy I am that we're doing this morning.
Right on.
I apologize to everybody. I'm not as prepared as I normally am. Getting ready to head out of town, head down your way Tuesday. Maybe we can meet up and do
Yeah,
something.
absolutely. Yeah.
I'll get in touch. And just everybody have a great Thanksgiving and enjoy your family. And let's have a good Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Take care, everybody.